Today is Unit 2, Lesson 2, Part 1. We're going to be reading decimal numbers today. Make sure that when you're taking your notes tonight that this is somewhere on a clean page for your reference. This is Part 1 of a 2-part series, and all we're going to be doing is reading. So I might be talking a little fast because it's been one of those days. Remember that you can always pause it, rewind it, watch it again, do whatever you need to do. I'm going to start off by looking at our place value chart. I tried to do like a little hand-drawn one last night, but this one's really awesome that you can see the colors, you can see the dollar bills and everything else. So this little pink dot right here is our decimal. And when you move to the left of the decimal, you notice that you're multiplying by 10 because your pieces are getting bigger. Multiply. So 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. So every time you multiply by 10, you're multiplying and getting 1 0 larger. Now, it's the opposite direction when you go to the right of your decimal. You are dividing into smaller pieces. So we have divide by 10 is a tenth. Divide by 10 is hundredths. Divide by 10 is thousandths. So you're dividing by 10 each time you move one place value to the right. So this also on this chart, this is also in your book tonight that you can look at. It's page 41, if this is hard to see in the video. But that is the layout of place value. And this should be a review other than we've added the thousandths now. That was not part of last year. So when we talk about expanded form or starting to talk about how we read these numbers, it's just like reading our whole numbers, the left side of the place value that we did last year. So if you're looking at a number like 2,430, I didn't rehearse this, 34, you see how that all laid on top of each other? So it was 2,000 plus 400 plus 30 plus 4. So 2,434. You're going to say and do the same things when you have a whole number and a decimal. So another example would be 5, some of you I heard today saying 5.34. That's not how we would read it. We would say 5. And when we get to the decimal, we would say and. How would we say this? We would say 34 hundredths, because that's the place we would be in. So it's 5 plus 3 tenths plus 4 hundredths would be 5 and 34 hundredths. Another example might be 2 and 6 tenths. Notice when I get to the decimal, I'm saying what word? And. 2 and 6 tenths. If I were to pull it apart, it would be 2 and 6 tenths. Another one, as we're building our knowledge on this one, would be 972 and 8 tenths. So you would say your number, we would say this 972 if there was no decimal. When we add the decimal in, we just say and 8 tenths. Now I'm going to throw some tricky ones at you that sound almost the same, but it's a little tricky. Let's see if you can say this. Of course, I didn't pull the right one. 700 and 7 hundredths. So there's 700, and if we didn't have the decimal point there, how would we say it? I hear you. 700. Then you would add your decimal, and you would have and 7 hundredths, because that number sits in the hundredth spot. So like I said, tonight was a quick one where we're just practicing reading our decimal points. When you get to that decimal, you say and you read the numbers just like you would read them on the left-hand side of the decimal. and we will work a little bit more like with this in workshop tomorrow. Don't forget to do your form. Have a nice night.